Okay, I think we can continue. Okay, there it is. Now, what about lectures? In this kind of task, please consider taking into account the following aspects. The first one is the topic. What is the lecture about? What is the professor talking about? What is the main topic that is being covered? Okay, guys, the topic is really important. Organization. How does the professor organize her or his lecture? Okay, maybe the professor starts the lecture by providing some examples or by telling an experience. And after that, he or she is going to introduce the class and then ask for opinions or provide extra information. You know, there are a lot of types of organizing a class. So you have to pay attention to the way the lecturer is organizing his or her lecture. Okay, guys? Organization is really important. Finally, details and implications. What do you understand from the lecture? What could you understand? What is your understanding? And what details can you extract from the recording? So these two will be mirrored on your notes. So taking notes is really important. So consider doing that, okay, guys? And finally, I was forgetting, the class discussions. There is only one difference between lectures and class discussions. That is that in lectures, there will be one person who will be talking, okay? Only one person in lectures. And in class discussions, you will find a discussion between the students and the professor. So that is the main difference. That's it. In both lectures and class discussions, you have to take into account the topic, the organization, and the information. Okay, guys? Now, I have
Okay.
some suggestions for you to consider at the moment of listening these kind of exercises. First, please focus on what you listen and not on what is around. What is around, what is happening around you, doesn't matter. What matters is what you are listening, okay? So pay attention, listen carefully, it is really important. Then pay attention to keywords, okay? Try to write the keywords that you listen so that you can understand or you organize your notes, okay? Only the keywords, it is important. Finally, you have to imply from context. What does this mean? Well, sometimes it is really difficult for us to understand what is being read or what is being listened. So in that case, please use the context. Try to use the things that you are able to understand in order to understand the whole passage or the whole recording, okay, guys? So context can be really useful for you to understand what you're listening in a better way. Okay, guys? Those would be my 3 suggestions for you. Now, let's move on. How to take notes. Remember this, okay, guys? Your notes are going to be really helpful at the moment of answering the questions. So please keep in mind these suggestions. Please, at the moment of writing notes, consider only writing keywords, okay? Keywords. Also, try to write short sentences. Too long sentences will make you waste your time, okay? So, short sentences. Finally, organize your ideas, okay? In a way that it would be easier for you to understand what you have written, okay? Organize your ideas. That's it. Finally, important to keep details from the recording. If you find something interesting or you consider that it is important to write, do it, okay? Maybe that detail is going to be included in the questions. So guys, it is really important to take notes. Now, it is time for you to practice, okay? First, have at hand a piece of paper and a pen so that you can write your notes and your answers. After that, we're going to hear or listen to this recording. We're going to see some questions, and after then, you will have to send your answers to the chat box of Zoom. Okay, guys? In only one message, okay? Are my instructions clear, guys?
Yes, teacher.
What about the rest?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Clear.
Okay. So let's start. Please, I need you to let me know if you can hear the recording.
Now listen to a conversation between us.
Can you hear?
Yeah.
What about the rest?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, yes.
Okay, guys. Let's start.
Now listen to a conversation between a student and a professor.
Hi, Professor. Do you mind if I talk to you for a minute?
Sure, Carla. What's going on?
Well, as you know, this has been a really difficult class for me, and I'm really nervous about the final coming up. I'm scared I'm going to fail this class, but I have to pass, or I'll have to take an extra class next semester, and I know that would be difficult. I was wondering if you could help me prepare or figure out a way to at least make sure I'll pass.
Yes, I've noticed this class hasn't been easy for you. I'm glad you came to me because the last thing I want is for any of my students to fail the course. What have you been doing to prepare for the final?
Well, I'm studying in the library whenever I can, but I feel like I just don't understand the information. I'm only taking this intro to biology class because I need to fulfill my science requirement. I'm a French major, and science just doesn't make sense to me. I'm really scared I'm not going to do well on the final. Is there any way I could do some extra credit to help my grade?
I'm sorry, Carla, but there will be no opportunities for extra credit. If I let you do something, I would have to let everyone in the class do it.
Oh, okay, well, I understand, I guess.
Why don't you see if you can study with some other students in the class? I'm sure Martin or Sarah would be willing to help you. They seem to have an excellent grasp on the material.
I could. I kind of feel bad asking. I know Sarah is in the student government and Martin is on the soccer team, so I feel like they're both really busy.
Well, if you don't feel comfortable working with them, you could always go to the student center and have them help you find a tutor. You would have to pay, but it's really cheap since there are student tutors and subsidized by the school.
I guess I could do that. I really can't afford to fail this class, so I think I'm going to have to invest in a tutor.
I know many students who have done well after working with one of the student tutors. If you decide to go that route, I'm sure you will benefit as well.
I hope so. Thanks, Professor.
Of course, Carla. Good luck.
Now,
Okay, guys, I hope everybody understood. Now it is time to see the questions, okay? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, let's see then. You will have 30 seconds to answer each question, okay? So let's start. 1 minute to answer these two questions, please. Okay, guys, time's up. Let's move on to the next questions, okay? 30 seconds to answer each question. Go on, please. Okay, guys, I hope you all has finished. Now, please send your answers to the chat box, okay? Only in one message, okay? So that you do not write a lot. 1 minute to do that, please. We are 12 students, so I will be expecting 12 answers. Okay, guys, thank you everybody for participating. Now, it is time to see the answers, okay? We'll see. First, let me ask you. Okay, please. Ale Larrea Conde, are you there?
Yes, teacher, I'm here.
Please, can you read question number 1 and its options?
Of course. What problem is the student having? Her biology class is really difficult. She can't find anyone to tutor her for the upcoming exam. She might fail her biology class if she doesn't do well on the final exam. She's worried about not being able to graduate.
Okay. Now, what is the answer to this question, guys?
I could see.
Okay, let's see. What about you, Ana Belén?
Also see.
Okay. Cami Lopez, what about you?
The same, letter C.
Good job. Eloy, what do you think?
I think letter A.
Okay, letter A. What about you? Joel.
I chose letter C, teacher.
Okay, letter C. What about you, Jokabet?
The same teacher, letter C.
Okay. What about you, Mariela?
Letter C, teacher.
Okay, Milenka?
Yes, letter C also.
Okay. Miriam?
Letter C also.
Okay. Orlando?
I put A, but it's
Okay.
C.
Patricia?
Teacher, I just arrived, so I can hear the listening.
Okay, okay. Do not worry. Remind me, please, to check your attendance at the end of the class, okay? Lucia, please, what do you think?
Letter C, teacher.
Okay, finally, Roger.
Letter C, teacher.
Okay, everybody but Eloy thinks that letter C is the answer. Let's see. Yes, excellent job, guys. Letter C was the answer. Now, Eloy may be wondering why. Please, Eloy, can you read the fragment of the recording so that you can understand why letter C was the correct one?
Sure. Well, as you know, this has been a really difficult class for me. and I'm really, really nervous about the final coming up. I'm scared that I am going to fail the class, but I have to pass or I'll have to take an extra class next semester. And I know that would be so difficult.
So, Eloy, what was the answer? What was the main problem? That is really difficult, or she is really worried about not passing the final exam?
Yes, letter C.
Okay, I hope you understood. Let's move on to question number 2. I'm going to read it, okay? Why does Carla mention that Sarah is in the student government and Martin is on the soccer team? Please, guys, what do you think is the answer? I'm gonna ask only 3 people, okay? I don't know. Kokabet, what do you think?
Letter B, teacher.
To emphasize that they are busy and may not have time to talk with study. Okay. Now let's move on to Milenka, please.
Letter B, teacher.
Okay, 2 votes for letter B. And finally, I don't know, Joel, please.
I chose letter B as well, teacher.
Okay, letter B. Is there anyone who thinks that letter B is not the answer and has other option? Okay, I will assume that everybody should chose letter B as an answer. Let's move on. Let's go. Let's see. Yes. For number 2, letter B was the option. Okay. The solution. Let me read the fragment of the recording. Why don't you see if you can study with some other students in the class? I'm sure Martin or Sarah would be willing to help you. They seem to have an excellent grasp on the material. I could feel bad asking. I know Sarah is in student government and Marian is on the soccer team, so I feel like they're both really busy. So the answer was to emphasize that they are busy and may not have time to help her study. Is it clear, guys?
Yes, that one.
Yes, sure.
Move on to question number 3. I'm gonna read it for you now. Why does the student say she's taking this class? I'm gonna ask 3 people again. Miriam, please, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, teacher. I chose letter C.
So she can decide if she wants to major in science. Okay, thank you. What about you, Ale Larrea?
Here I have 2 options between B and D, but finally I choose B.
Okay, she didn't know it would be so difficult. Okay, thank you. Now, finally, please, Ana Belén, what do you think?
Also, I wasn't sure, but I chose letter A.
To fulfill a liberal arts requirement. Okay, we have 3 different perspectives in this question. Let's see who was right. In this case, you were supposed to find details from the recording. Letter A was the right answer. Good job, Ana Belén. But now let's find out why the other options were not correct. Please, Ale Larrea, can you read the fragment?
Yes, the answer is said explicitly in the conversation. I'm only taking this intro to biology class because I need to fulfill my science requirement. I'm a French major and science just doesn't make sense to me.
Now, guys, is it clear why letter A was the answer?
Yes, teacher.
What letter A answer? Excuse me.
Yes, letter A was the answer for this question. To fulfill a liberal arts requirement.
Okay, I got it. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. Now, let's move on to question number 4. Please.
Excuse me. So in that question, we have to imply that French is a liberal art requirement.
That's it. Okay.
Okay.
And you can omit some answers as well. Why? Did she mention challenge?
No.
Did she mention that she wants to major in science?
No.
Did she mention that she didn't know it would be so difficult for her?
No.
So,
She said
what?
some words that
Some
is
words.
similar.
Let's see.
Like,
I'm only taking this intro to biology class because I need to fulfill my science requirement. What was the keyword in this case? Fulfill.
Fulfill.
So you have to take into account, as I told you, keywords, okay? Okay, guys. Now, in question number 4, you were supposed to choose 2 answers. Let's see the question, okay? Please, Cami Lopez, are you there?
Yes, teacher.
Can you help me reading this question, please?
Okay, what does the professor suggest Carla do? Select 2. I selected letter A and B.
Okay, thank you for your opinion. What about you, Eloy? What do you think?
I choose letter A and B.
Okay, 2 similar opinions. Finally, let's see. Orlando, what do you think?
A and B also.
A and B, okay. Similar perspectives, similar opinions. Let's see. What were the answers? Excellent job, guys. A and B were the answers. Were the solutions that the professor suggested, right? Let me read the passage so that you can understand. Why don't you see if you can study with some other students in the class? I am sure Maureen or Sarah would be willing to help you. They seem to have an excellent grasp on the material. I could. I kind of feel bad asking. I know Sarah is in student government and Maureen is on the soccer team, so I feel like they are both really busy. Well, if you do not feel comfortable working with them, you could always go to the student center and help them find you a tutor. You would have to pay, but it's really cheap since they are student tutors and subsidized by the school. What were the options? Let's see. Ask other students for help and find a tutor. Did the professor mention library or credit assignment?
No.
No, right? So the answers were A and B. Finally, let's move on to the last question. Please, Jokabet Becerra, can you help me reading the question?
Yes, teacher. The final question, right?
Yes.
Okay. What is the professor implying when he says that Martin and Sarah have an excellent grasp on the material?
Okay. Why? What did you choose? What option?
Letter B.
Letter D. That they are the best students in the class?
No, teacher. Letter B.
Okay. They understand the material well. Okay. Thank you. What about you? Let's see. Lucia, what do you think? What did you choose?
letter B, teacher.
Letter B as well. Okay.
Yes.
They understand the material well. Okay. Finally, what do you think? Joel.
Letter B too, teacher.
Okay. Really similar opinions. Let's see. Let's read the question again. What is the professor implying when he says that Martin and Sarah have an excellent grasp on the material? Let me tell you that have an excellent grasp on the material means that they understand really well the material, okay? So you have to know that. To have an excellent grasp on something means that you understand pretty well something, okay? So what is the professor implying when he says that? Let's see. You said that they understand the material well. What is the answer? Letter C was the answer. Why? Letter C. They will be good tutors for Carla. Why? Because they understand the material really well. Does it have sense? This was the keyword, imply. Imply means to say something without saying it. When the professor says they have an excellent grasp on the material, what is he suggesting? That they can be good tutors for Carla because they understand the material really well. Do you understand why letter C was the question, was the answer?
Teacher, so we can say that imply have a meaning like insinuar, something like that?
That's it. When speaking, imply means that's it. Implicar, insinuar quizás. Do you understand?
Yes, thank you.
So
Now,
C is the correct.
letter C is the correct one. So let's see. I'm going to read the passage now. Although it is true the professor is telling Carla that Martin and Sarah understand the material well, the point he's trying to make is that they will be good tutors for Carla or good people to ask for help with studying. Now, the fragment. Why don't you see if you can study with some other students in the class? I am sure Martin or Sarah would be willing to help you. They seem to have an excellent grasp of the material. What is he implying? That Sarah or Martin understands the material well, so they can help Carla to study. They can be good tutors for Carla. That is why letter C is the best answer to this question. Guys, do you understand what imply means?
Yes, teacher.
What about the rest?
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
Yes, teacher.
So, be careful
Yes,
with this
teacher.
kind of question. Whenever you see imply, it means that you have to think a little bit more, okay? I'm gonna say this in Spanish so that you can understand better, okay? Imply, implicar. La respuesta no va a estar explícita en lo que escuchen, en lo que anoten, ¿ok? Cuando algo significa que se está implicando o que implica algo, tienen que pensar un poco más y decir, ok, está diciendo esto, entonces la respuesta está en lo que entiendo de lo que estoy escuchando, ¿está bien? Implicar. ¿Qué pasa si digo, ok, Jocabet Becerra, you need to practice a little bit more. Tienes que practicar un poco más. ¿Qué estoy implicando? Que quizás los resultados en su examen no fueron los mejores, ¿verdad? ¿Sí o no? Pero, ¿estoy mencionando que sus resultados fueron malos? No. Le estoy diciendo que practique un poco más. ¿Qué es lo que está implícito? Sus resultados fueron malos. ¿Qué es lo que está explícito? Que ella tiene que practicar más. ¿Está claro?
Sí, sí, profe. Yes, teacher.
Okay, who raised his hand? Okay, Ale Larrea, do you have any
Yes, teacher. Yes, I have a question. So, if we are talking about implying something, letter B or D could be also good answers because we can imply that they understand the material well and they are the best students. Okay, the recording doesn't talk about best students or understand material or will be good tutors, but my question is how can we discard letter B and letter D for get the C answer?
Okay, as I told you, to have an excellent grasp on the material, to have an excellent grasp on the material means that they understand the material well. Is it implied or is it explicit?
Explicit.
Explicit. So that is not the answer. Letter D. They are the best students in the class. Did the professor mention that they are the best?
No.
So that question, that answer can be discarded as well. you have to think about the options that are mentioned in the recording. And if it is implied or the opposite way, explicit. Do you understand, Ale?
Yes, so I'm not really.
Okay, I'm gonna say it in Spanish, okay, so that you can understand. Aquí, to have an excellent grasp on the material. ¿Qué significa? Que se entiende el material. Entonces, esto está explícito. No está implicando eso el teacher. Así que como está explícito, no puede ser la respuesta. Porque está diciendo literalmente lo mismo. La pregunta que en la respuesta. ¿Está bien? Por eso esta pregunta no puede, esta respuesta no puede ser la correcta. Ahora, ellos son los mejores en la clase. ¿Lo mencionó? ¿Dijo que son los mejores en el recording? ¿Sí o no?
No.
No, ¿verdad? Entonces, como no lo dijo, es algo que tal vez no es cierto. Tal vez hay mejores estudiantes, pero el profesor está sugiriendo a estas dos personas porque él sabe que estas personas entienden el material, pero no dijo que son los mejores. Entonces, la letra D puede ser descartada porque no lo está mencionando. Es información que no está en el recording. Entonces, descartando B y D. They have a strong grip on their textbooks. Similar a que entienden bien el material. Estas dos son muy similares. Pero está explícito esto. ¿Por qué? Have an excellent grasp on the material. Se descarta. No lo dijo. Se descarta también. ¿Cuál queda? They will be good tutors for Carla. No lo está diciendo, sí. Está implícito. ¿Por qué? Al decir que entienden el material y que pueden ayudarla, está implicando que pueden ser buenos tutores para Carla. ¿Se entiende mejor?
Sí, creo que sí, se entiende mejor. Porque aún así en el C tampoco lo dijo, ¿no? Tampoco dijo que...
Exacto, no lo dijo, pero aquí está. Implicar. Imply. ¿Ok? Es decir algo, pero sin tener que decirlo. Suena un poco ambiguo, pero eso es lo que significa cuando alguien imply something. ¿Está claro?
Yeah, sí. It's okay, thank you.
Muy bien. Okay, guys. Now, is everything clear now, guys? Did you understand how do you have to work with this kind of exercise?
Yes, teacher.
What about the rest?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Remember, okay, it is really important. When dealing with this kind of conversation, task, please remember to focus on these three aspects: the problem, the suggestions or the solutions, and the details that you may find important so that you can write in your piece of paper, on your piece of paper. Okay, guys? These three aspects are really important. The problem was included in the questions. The suggestions or the solutions were included in 2 questions. And some details were included in 1 or 2 questions, I think. So if you consider these aspects at the moment of listening to the recording, if you write notes on them, I am really sure that you will have the best score in this exercise. Okay, guys?
Okay, teacher, thank you.
Okay, teacher.
Is there any question? Any problem that you may have? Any doubt? Please let me know now. I am here to help, so please.
Teacher, I have a question.
Tell me.
Do you have maybe a tip for us to find in a easier word keywords?
Keywords, okay, a tip maybe. You have to improve your, first you have to improve your vocabulary. You have to know a lot about vocabulary, okay? That is one tip. Another tip, pay attention to the words and to the way the person is speaking. Usually keywords are located at the beginning of a sentence. Maybe at the beginning, at the end, or in the middle of the lecture, the conversation, you know. They are usually located at the beginning of the sentence or any phrase. So keywords are really important. Also, you can take notes on the keywords because they are really different from the rest of the words. For example, in a sentence, you can recognize a pronoun, an adjective, a verb, but maybe the keyword is something that you do not know about. For example, in this sentence, tell me, what is the keyword? Physics is a field of science. Where is the keyword?
Physics.
Physics and science. In that sentence, in that simple sentence, we have two keywords, physics and science. Can you tell me the meaning of science and physics? In your own words? Maybe that sentence that I have just mentioned is at the beginning of a paragraph or a lecture, and the information that will be spoken afterwards will answer that question. What physics involves, what science is about. So the keywords are there, physics and science. Okay?
Okay, teacher, thank you.
Okay. Any other question or doubt?
Excuse me, teacher. On the exam, we will find some questions that we'll have to answer, but how can we know that we will have to choose two answers, like on this example?
Okay. The order will be there, do not worry. As you may see here. Let me see. Can you see? Here is the order. Question number 4, the number, the period. What does the professor suggest Carla do? Select 2.
Thank you, teacher. I didn't remember.
So don't worry, okay. if you're allowed to choose more than one option, you will be able to see the order before the options. Okay, guys?
Okay, thank you, teacher.
Okay,
That's
is
my
there
fault.
any other question, any other doubt? Okay, guys, I hope you understood. If you have any other question, doubt, or problem, please, you can send me a message via WhatsApp, okay? I will be really willing to help you. Also, we couldn't have enough time to work with the other exercise, but we're going to work with that exercise, which is about listening to lectures and class discussions on Fridays, okay? So it wouldn't be a good idea to miss the class on Friday, okay? So guys, we're going to stop here now. I hope everybody understood this practice of today. And as always, please, I would really appreciate you complete this survey that I am about to send. And then you can leave the session, okay guys? Thank you for attending. Thank you for participating, and see you on Friday, okay?
Bye, teacher.
Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye, teacher.
Bye-bye.
Bye, teacher.
Bye-bye.
Bye,
teacher.
Bye.
One question. Where can we practice these listenings?
Sorry,
Or can we
can you repeat that, please?
Yes, can we have access to some platform where we can practice this kind of exercise or not?
Maybe I can send you some exercises. Do you agree?
Yes. Or maybe could you share some platforms, I don't know, where we can practice some.
Okay, I will do it, okay? I will try to look for, I don't know, 3 or 4 exercises so that you can practice for Friday, okay, guys?
Okay, thank you, teacher.
Okay.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, teacher. Goodbye.
Bye.